Hello there and welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how you can add a Linux-based worker or deployment target to your Octopus Deploy environment. So basically you should visit this site for downloads, but there are basically three types of Linux downloads available. First one is the archive, which is the source code that you can build for yourself. The second one is an apt-based package, which is mostly used on Debian distributions, and an RPM package, which is used on Fedora, Red Hat, or CentOS distributions. So I have downloaded the RPM based because I have a CentOS A machine. Now, what we can do, first of all, is to feed the guest. But basically, I would like to copy my package. And in order to copy this, I have opened the WinRCP. And I'm going to copy it up to the desktop. And now, if I go to my CentOS A machine and log in successfully, in the meanwhile, let's go to our Add Worker session. So if you go under Workers and click on Add Worker, you can select Windows, Linux, or macOS. And I do not have macOS available at the moment, but maybe I will. And we can here add three types of workers. The first one is listening, the second one is polling, and the third one is an SSH connection. So in order to test out the SSH connection, I'm going to check out in the next video. But basically, here we have our tentacle RPM. Let's open a GNOME terminal, navigate to our desktop, and just sudo. So home, reaper pi desktop. And what I would like to do is to issue the rpm-ivh and tentacle.rpm. So now what it is going to do is to tell us to run the following script. Let's do that. Name of the tentacle instance. Let's call it CentOS A. What kind of tentacle would you like to configure? Listening. I would like to have the listening, which is the default. Where would you like the tentacle to store the log files? We could configure any other place, but currently for the demonstration's sake, we can use the default. Where would you like to tentacle to install applications to? That's perfectly fine. Octopus applications. Enter the port that this tentacle will listen on. We can leave it on default. If you have any requirements, you can change the port, but make sure that on the Octopus Deploy you configure it appropriately. Thumbprint from the Octopus server. So this is where we would like to copy this thumbprint. Now, what we can do is to paste this thumbprint. Hold on for a second. What was the end of the thumbprint? 7. Sudo opt and continue. So it is installed, but it's looking terribly. So let's change the colors. Cool. So the service is installed, tentacle instance, great. And now what we would like to do is go to our web interface and call this CentOS A. And the port is the same, directly connected. Great. Let's see. So run cmd ping CentOSA, great. And what we need to also do is to simply say that system ctl disable firewall d, and we may also want to stop firewall d. Great. So you should not do this on a production environment. It's better to allow the port with the TCP protocol on the given node. But now, unable establish, great. Now, we will say that CentOSA worker pool is going to be called let's discard changes and add worker pool prod line. Save it and go back to the workers. So listening tentacle CentOSA, next CentOSA LIN prod, and this is going to be a prod Linux worker pool, and voila. Now we can check the health of this. So currently, if it fails, we should definitely restart, or no, it kind of succeeded. So the Calamari, which is a plugin or addition to the client, is not the latest version, but it's still available. So now what we can do here is to use the script console, use the bash, and issue the who am I command. And we would select the targets. And gosh, we need to create a deployment target. So we will call it Linux listening tentacle and CentOSA prod, or just simply CentOSA. Next, CentOSA prod LIN. The environment is going to be production Linux. The role should be the default, and just save it. Now we should be able to execute here, and we say bash, and we would like to have the ps aux. So now this is running. So basically, you just to recall, you have a source-based tentacle. For Linux, you have a Debian-based tentacle on Linux and a YAML-based tentacle on Linux. And you could basically use whichever you feel most comfortable with. But as you can see, it allows you to create or run additional commands with the task option. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.